learning more tonight about an officer-involved shooting happened over the weekend. It happened early Sunday morning outside of the Ranch nightclub. That's off Eberhard and Bernie. When officers arrived on the scene, they found an armed 18-year-old man standing over another man. And that's when one officer opened fire, striking the 18-year-old several times. That 18-year-old later died at the hospital. The medical examiner's office has identified him as Dwayne Johnson. The NAACP speaking out on the matter as they say this is the second shooting involving a black man and CCPD. So they've called on Corpus Christi police to conduct a thorough investigation of what happened that night and also keeping the community informed.
And we got to find a way to prevent these things from keeping occurring because we need each other. We need the police to serve and protect, and we need our young men to be able to go home.
In the meantime, both officers involved in the shooting have been placed on paid administrative leave pending an investigation. And a vigil was also held tonight in remembrance of Johnson.
Deputy and police officer shot and killed a man after he allegedly approached them with a knife. It happened just before 7:40 last night on Interstate 44 in Sullivan. According to a joint news release from the Franklin County Sheriff and Sullivan Police Chief, police dispatch asked for help with a man who was walking east in the westbound lanes who appeared to be angry. When officers arrived, they stopped traffic to prevent the man from getting hit by a car. Despite their repeated commands for the man to drop the knife, police say he continued moving towards them aggressively. Both the officer and deputy fired their weapons, hitting the man. They gave him first aid immediately, but he later died at the hospital. The Missouri State Division of Drug and Crime Control has taken over the investigation as protocol.
Police say the incident all started right here in this area of West Phoenix. The family tells me all they want is some answers.
He was just so caring, humorous, very funny. You'll hear that in everybody's on how they describe him, just always full of laughter, jokes.
46-year-old Imani Jackson was a brother, an uncle, a son, and a father of 4 before he was shot and killed by Phoenix police on Saturday. His family says he was a ray of sunshine for any storm someone was going through, and he meant everything to them.
Everything, everything. We knew he was only a call away. If we needed someone to talk to, if we needed someone to just be there with us and hang out with us, cheer us on, he was there.
Phoenix police, however, saying they found Jackson right here in this parking lot off 25th Avenue in Buckeye early Saturday morning. Officers initially getting calls of someone firing rounds near people experiencing homelessness. Police saying a suspect in vehicle description led them to confront Jackson, seen in this surveillance video given to us by his daughter from a business. The video shows the apparent moments Jackson gets out of his vehicle, walking away from police. Police claim Jackson later reached for his waistband. That's when the 2 officers fired their weapons, killing him.
We want to first see that body cam. Anyone could say anything, and we want to know what truly happened. That doesn't sound like my uncle at all, not even the slightest.
Phoenix police telling us they did find a gun on scene, but we're not sure if it was found on Jackson or elsewhere. Jackson's family starting a GoFundMe to hire a private investigator to look over what happened. But money can't take back the loss they have.
We shouldn't be shooting to kill, especially if the individual's not a threat. I don't understand, especially with my uncle's situation, why weren't other protocols used?
And we did reach out to Phoenix police, who say this is still an active investigation and wouldn't give out any more information, but of course we'll continue pressing them for answers. Reporting in Phoenix, Josh Cristianto, ABC 15, Arizona.
On a suspect near a Motel 6 in Anaheim. Desmond Shaw is live overhead, and SkyCal with the latest for us. Desmond.
Amy, and that suspect now in the hospital in unknown condition. This was a big investigation that involved not just Anaheim PD, you see their cruisers here, but also U.S. Marshals with their Pacific Northwest Task Force. We're off of State College Boulevard just north of the 91 freeway here, and you see a lot of police tape at this Motel 6 here on the left, as well as this distribution company over here on the right. And we believe here, as I zoom in, that this is where one of the shootings may have happened. As I put in the magnifying glass, you can see some of the medical waste down here here in this area. So this was a homicide suspect that was actually wanted out of Iowa and was tracked here to this area. When the U.S. Marshals attempted to approach that person, that is when the shooting happened. It's unclear if that was the U.S. Marshals or Anaheim PD that fired their weapons. But you are also going to find there was also another person that was injured in all this. We have some ground video that we want to show you as well. And someone else was injured in this, transported to the hospital in unknown condition. It's not known if they were shot or how they were injured, but again, now 2 people in the hospital. One of them shot, for sure, we know that, in unknown condition after a big investigation and a search warrant by the federal government. Live in Sky Overhead, I'm Desmond Shaw. Back to you now in the studio.
All right, Desmond, thank you.
Alexandria police provided a few new details this afternoon after an officer shot and killed a man.
Yeah, the interim chief tells us the man was outside an apartment building off Van Dorn Street. He was having some kind of mental health crisis and was armed. Our Northern Virginia Bureau reporter Drew Wilder is talking with the victim's neighbors tonight, who say they heard police tell the man to drop his gun.
Just inside the front door of 5101 Maris Avenue, the carpet from the floor is ripped up and gone. It was here Alexandria police found a man who was reportedly experiencing a mental health crisis and threatening to harm himself.
30 Bravo, hold the air. Subject has a weapon.
Alexandria police have offered very few details, but say Monday night the man had a gun and police shot and killed him.
30 Bravo, shots fired.
Shots fired.
A neighbor who asked us not to identify him says that he heard officers tell the victim to drop the gun multiple times.
Struck you as a person that might be in crisis?
Absolutely.
Police are not releasing the man's name, but say he's a white male in his 60s.
He's a nice neighbor, very welcoming. Since I've moved here, I've been here 7 years. Yeah, just a shot.
Alexandria police have mental health crisis clinicians on staff, but say they were not brought to this call because they weren't on the clock. Though the chief says because this man had a gun, a clinician would not have been brought in anyway.
Through the course of the negotiation, the officers pleaded with the man numerous times to drop his weapon. In response to a threatening action, at approximately 11:21 p.m., one APD officer discharged their service weapon, striking the man.
Multiple times we asked the interim police chief to clarify what he meant by a threatening action. He said he wouldn't go into detail and that it would be up to the regional critical incident response team who is investigating this shooting, and it'll be up to them to determine what information they are going to release about what exactly happened in the moments prior to an Alexandria City police officer shooting a man experiencing an apparent mental health crisis. Reporting in Alexandria, Drew Wilder, News 4.